So I was kind of thinking today of how much even though, yes, Spider-Man centric events aren't exactly great, shall we say, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do just kind of like pitch a fun idea that's something that like you think Marvel would have done already for a Spider-Man centric event. And that is basically a Spider Slayer event. How I would probably call this is like Reign of the Spider Slayers. Because really, and admittedly, I got the idea listening to one of the episodes from Comic Pop, and Sal brought up this thing is like, you would think that like the Spider Slayer, like a Spider Slayer event would be a thing now because we have so many Spider-Man characters. And that kind of dovetailed into this whole idea going forward. So this is basically my like a loose idea of what I would like to do with a Spider-Man centric event involving other Spider-Man characters. So this is, like I said, the Reign of the Spider Slayers, and the event would center around Spider-Man, Miles, of course. I would even have Gwen in here. Ghost Spider. I'd probably also have it be, if Spider Boy is still going, even though I have no care for that title. I don't know if Spider Boy is still going. I'd probably also have tie-ins as well, like for Chasm, as well as Kane, Scarlet Spider. Yeah. And this wouldn't be a Spider-Verse centric event. Although I would say if this got like a sequel to it, it would involve other Spider-Men. Like it would be a Spider-Verse event. But for right now, we're just kind of focusing on the 616 Spider-Man. So yeah, another one that would be hunted, Jessica Drew, even though she's not really a member of the Spider-Man family. She's going to get tied in with this. Arena would also be targeted. I would even say, because they would have to be here, I guess, Mary Jane Venom. Ugh. I love Ali Wing's writing, but like I have no care for that whole idea. So Mary Jane would be here as Venom. I'd probably also have Flash Thompson, Agent Annie Venom, part of this as well, because it's all, like I said, all kind of spider related characters that are being hunted by the Spider Slayers. So anyway, let's get started with what this event would look like. So basically, this event has the big return of Alistair Smythe. And Smythe is basically, we haven't seen him in a long time. I know the character's kind of quote unquote dead, but it's comics. You can basically power nap in a comic book. Death is just power napping. So this event would essentially, what it would be is a storyline where the Spider Slayers have been like, Smythe has just been in the dark, like he has just gone underground for years building the perfect Spider Slayers. And these Spider Slayers are all different kind of models. I would even have, if I could tell the artist, hey, could you make ones like the toys that just stacked on top of each other, like from the 90s cartoon? That'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, there'd be different Spider Slayers built for each spider character. So yeah, Smythe has been spending years watching all these spider characters and analyzing them. He's been in the background analyzing their powers, their abilities, everything they have, so he could gear up for a big push. So he would unleash these Spider Slayers. Each Spider Slayer would be indicative to counter each Spider-Man character. So each one looks different. Some of them would even be references to old models too. But so the Spider-Man characters would be battling it out with the Spider Slayers. And here's where it gets interesting, because these Spider Slayers are capable of adapting, super adapting, you might say. Yeah, see. Smythe didn't just build Spider Slayers. He built Spider Slayers using the technology of the Super Adaptoids. And he basically collabed with the Mad Thinker on that. So these Spider Slayers, even if you bring something like new to the table to like try to combat them, they can just counter it immediately. So they're capable of just instantly countering. Like Miles would try to like shock one, and it just like feeds it back into Miles, and it just almost kills him. I would even have that these things would be capable of like temporarily nullifying spider abilities and also being invisible to spider sense. Again, Smythe would have had decades upon decades, well, not decades, but I guess we'd say years of time to like really perfect these spider slayers. So essentially, they would be he would probably use like some kind of metal or technology to like block the spider sense of each spider character. Though granted, again, Jessica doesn't use that. I don't think Arena has that either. But again, each spider slayer even would already be coming packed with weapons to counter whatever spider ability is. But if they tried to like counter it, I would even have that they're capable of like scanning the movements and using the probability of how these spider characters would move against them and counter it immediately. So these things would be a threat. They wouldn't be like, I would even have like Peter's like, man, it's good to see, I haven't seen a spider slayer in years. You guys gotta, oh my god, I can't, like, where did it go? I can't pick it up. And it would come right at him. I would even have that, like, since we get, anti-venom and venom in here, Smythe has been preparing for this moment too, because you'd even have it like they're capable of combating symbiotes. Even have it like like during the events of Venom War and King in Black, Smythe took bits and pieces of symbiotes and kind of like made his own like proto symbiotes to again counter the symbiote centric characters in here, like in the storyline. So we'd have like symbiotes that would counter that would have the weaknesses for the symbiote, like again, spider slayers that are capable of combating symbiote weaknesses, and also being able to like utilize almost pseudo symbiote armor and things like that. So that's what I'd like. So yeah, the spider slayers. I've always enjoyed seeing I miss the spider slayers. Honestly, I truly do miss the spider slayers. I think they're really cool. They're just cool robots that just fight Spider-Man. And again, we have enough Spider-Man characters that if you really wanted to, you could make this a Spider-Verse story. But like I said, I would probably not do that right away. It would just be because Smythe wouldn't have the capability of building multiversal technology. You could probably say some hand-wavy bullshit like, if you really wanted to, like he worked with Morlun and and his family to build spider slayers and send them into the multiverse. That's how you could do it. But yeah, for right now, like my ideal for a Spider-Man event wouldn't be a multiverse event. It would just be like, we got enough Spider-Man characters on Earth 616 that we could make a pretty solid Spider Slayer event on its own. So yeah. And again, I'm probably sure someone's going to bring up, hey, the Spider Slayers sound like the Amazos from Absolute Power. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. I didn't care much for that event, but I do like the idea of like these Amazos to combat each Justice League member. Now, would they be stealing Spider-Man abilities? No, they're just countering and evolving constantly. So this would be dependent more on Peter and the other character, Peter, Miles, and the others, kind of like trying to think outside the box to combat each Spider Slayer. So yeah, we do. So yeah. Alistair Smythe is a fun villain. I wouldn't say he's one of my top 10 villains, but he's always fun to see. And again, I haven't seen a good Spider Slayer story in a long time. And again, Spider Slayers could easily be an event. It could easily work as a Spider-Man event. But anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below what did you guys think of what do you guys think of this Spider Slayer event, or rather just Spider-Man event? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this on Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.